such a strange thing. Somebody throw pork at me on the... No, it's just meat. Blah. What would do? Please support our Dower projects at patreon.com. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, ring that bell. Ring, ding, 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 ding. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I've tried this a few times, and I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to flub through it, and I keep saying I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to edit it, and we'll see. I mean, if I really mess something up, you'll see like a big cut in this video, and you'll just... Like, what happened? And I'm not going to tell you. I either got very upset, said the wrong thing, that I was like, subhanAllah, if I release that, I will be, lined up and people will be throwing pork at me or something. I don't know. Briefly, a very short conversation with the sister because I was kind of curious. So I get involved with a bunch of different various groups, not so much for the productivity of these groups. I find that a lot of groups online are not very productive. Some people may find benefit in them. I've been doing this for 13 years, and I can tell you through my experience, more often than not, they are not very productive. They actually cause more harm than benefits. Because one, we get people with good intentions that they don't really take care of the community. They allow people to post the wrong things, and because of their in charge of the group, they allow other things that are questionable to remain because their opinion is that it's okay, rather than being controlling of like they should, meaning let's make it a safe place, a safe environment for people to discuss certain things, but also have rules that say, look, we don't discuss this. So for example, I've been in one group for as an administrator for a long time where we don't allow politics. But it doesn't stop people from trying to slip in politics conversations all over the place. And the reason we don't allow this is because there's more than enough politics in all. If you want to talk politics and get involved with world events, there's 1 million, 200 million, 300 million groups out there that you can get involved with. This particular group has a specific purpose for new Muslims, to teach them how to deal with everyday events, not to do dawah and to convert them to this group or to that group or to get them to accept this fatwa versus that fatwa. These are the issues you have to deal with. So, not all groups do a good job at this, and we struggle with our group, but and that's why there's like, the admins just kind of disappear for a while because we just need a break from the chaos. And the worst part is, and I hate to push this back, but a lot of times the bigger issues are, it's the behavior of the individuals themselves, and that's kind of where we're going with this particular comment. So I noticed this sister, she had posted about, she's venting, she's frustrated, something's going on. And it sounds like a typical thing that we get is that, so she's labeled extreme, and she's concerned too because even some Muslims call her extreme. And there's that's one of the challenges that we face when we accept Islam. Even the acceptance of Islam by many people is going to be extreme because they have been conditioned through lack of information. People who think they have information, but majority of the people I discuss, who especially the hostile ones, if somebody's hostile about Islam, they don't know what they're talking about. And we can say it all we want, but there's no point. I don't argue with these people about it because they do not know. So what ends up happening is because they have a particular worldview, that anything that doesn't fit into that nice little box of their view, right? If it doesn't fit, it's extreme. You put it out the side. One of the things I like to think, just because this is an extreme topic, music in the Muslim world. I'm not going to get into the details of halal, haram, and with music. Just the Western example of how the growing pains of society is changing. And music was one of these things, where music was a particular thing for a long period of time, and then it really started to change. And then in the 50s, and particularly the 60s and the 70s, there was a dramatic change within music, and rock and roll started coming in, and these different types of just the way they would play, the way the young people started dancing, and all the older people were saying, "Oh my God, look how extreme and crazy these young individuals are." And you get people like Elvis Presley who started doing things that were like their sensibilities were just like, "Oh my God, he's wiggling his hips." Oh, for us in the West, Christianity, right? That's it. That's the foundation for everything in the West. Okay? the way we behave, the way we talk. Yes, there's a big atheist movement and more and more people becoming atheists, but that's not the point. The foundation of our beliefs and the way we approach life, our lifestyle, has its roots in the Christian belief and the interpretations of the Bible. Now, when you go out and you reject that, that in itself is extreme, right? So now to the sister, the problem that we're going to face, and you're just going to have to kind of turn a blind eye to it, because, you know, one of the things I keep mentioning to a lot of people I discuss with over the 13 years I've been kind of helping out and discussing with new Muslims is that I grew up in a particular way, so I'm a very kind of aggressive, hands-on, like if I see something that needs to be changed within myself, you know, I push to get it changed, right? I really try, and I fall on my face a lot, right? I don't have any fake teeth yet, but I'm pretty close. Just bam, right? That's what happens because it's my approach, and inshallah I will change that. And through Islam, I'm learning to try to find better, more productive ways to deal with situations, because I feel that, you know, when I was in trouble with alcohol, people will say it's extreme, but I just quit one day and that was it. I was done. I didn't drink anymore. It was extreme. It was a dramatic change from one to the other, right? You know, in the long run, it was a far better choice. It was much healthier. I mean, alcohol is just so disgusting and vile, and it does so much damage to our society. But I cannot change everyone else. I can't focus on everyone else. So, so the way I've learned to deal with these things, I said, look, I accept Islam. I don't drink anymore. And there was a lot of like, what are you going to go off and be a terrorist and fight people and run over and do this and kill this? And look, even today or yesterday, I get comments about being an idiot and being brainwashed and being part of the Islamic, you know, rape gangs and all this. Like this is the way people, these are extreme views that people have. And they're going to be thrown at us. It's like, I'm trying to think, it's not a pretty image, but you know, people take animal dung and shat and throw it at people. You know, it's just this disgusting, vile spewing out of the mouth, and they're throwing these things at us. And that's just how it is, right? So the way I've learned to deal with this is, you know, Ukti, my sister, you can't worry about other people about this stuff. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be it's going to get under your skin, and your skin crawls, and you just want to like pull your hair out and just shut up. You know, you guys just, you know, but that's what you feel like. So for me, what I do in these situations is I just back off. I take a break, and I say, I got to stay away from it. I said, look, you know, I appreciate it, and I just politely, and I just, the brother or whoever's doing these kind of things, especially if it's somebody that's more of an intimate relationship, I just distance myself from them for a little bit. Not to cut ties, just to take a break, and just, I don't agree with their view, I don't agree with their position, and I don't agree with the fact that they're criticizing all the time, because I make a choice to do something that I believe is beneficial to me. If I want to fast extra, we have examples in the Quran and the Sunnah for this. If you want to think that that's harsh, or you want to think it's extreme, or the best position is if you don't want to do it because it's an option, then great, then you don't do it. But you know what you're supposed to do in that case, my brothers and sisters? You know what, subhanAllah. May Allah make it easy for you, sister. May, you know, you want to fast extra, may Allah reward you. I wish I could do that. It's not something that I can do, right? This is how we're supposed to behave. But going back to what I was saying is the problem is that you need to take these examples and apply them to yourself. You cannot worry about the people. The people that are criticizing you and pointing your finger at you, you just need to find ways to, if it becomes really bad, avoid them, right? If they're not people that are important in your life personally, like a mother and a father, just don't talk to them, especially if it's online, social media, whatever, right? Just stay away from them. I mean, we have no obligation to listen to people's crap, right? We don't. We even Islamically, if somebody's telling you something, you take it and you decide what you want to do with it, right? this is the problem that we have, right? People don't realize how free Islam actually is. And this is what I love about the religion. This is why I chose the religion. People say, you accepted something that's 1,400 years old, plus you're backward, crazy, you don't know what you're doing. The fact is that I chose Islam because there's stuff that the Prophet taught 1,400 years ago that if we practiced today, we would not hear about all of these racial issues. We would not hear about all of these women being abused all the time. I mean, it happens. It's never going to be, Islam does not say the world is going to ever be perfect. There's always going to be groups of people that are going to break the rules, be harmful, do evil things. That's always going to be there. But in terms of a society, our society will work better because we're all following the same types of rules to be better for ourselves, which includes being nice and kind and better with other people. And this example of what the sister is talking about, we have forgotten these things, or we never knew it in the first place, right? The brothers and sisters that do these kind of things where they're criticizing and calling people extreme, they don't know the religion. And I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but this is where you and I, sister, have an advantage over them. Because we get to start on a clean slate by accepting Islam. But the beauty is we also get to start on a clean slate up here. Because for most of us, we don't know Islam. We don't know the teachings. So when somebody comes to us and shows us something in the Quran, and they teach us something from the Quran, and then they show us something from the narrations of the Prophet, we have a clean slate. We take that information and we absorb it and we learn it. For most of the Muslims on the planet, unfortunately, they are Muslims for generations and generations. So they have culture and then they have Islam, right? And it was the same for me as a Christian. Before I accepted Islam, as a Christian, I had the cultural teachings and then the stuff that I knew about Christianity that was underneath. And that's the way most religious people on the planet are. They have an understanding based on culture first and the teachings second, because the vast majority of the people on the planet do not actually study their religion. They say they believe in something, but they don't go beyond that, right? So for new Muslim convert reverts, we all start on a clean slate and we are not confused. And the interesting thing is there's some very clear things in our society, in Western society, that clearly contradict Islam. So there's no debating it. It's just easy, right? You know, be kind to people. Control what you say. Don't just say stuff because you can, right? We're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to think, if I say something, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad? Western world is say whatever you want, apologize later. Say whatever you want. Who cares if it freaks people out and somebody gets angry and goes out and shoots other people in a mosque? It's my right to say it, right? That's the world we live in. And we don't realize that the people that usually are calling us extreme are actually far more extreme than us. So we're stuck in that trap, Ukti. Like I said, I think that you just need to kind of back off a little bit and take a break from these people if you can. I have another video that I've talked about dealing with parents and so on, because I don't know whether you live at home, and it's just the way people are, right? People are going to criticize us for doing the right thing. Another quick example, from a non-religious context. Imagine if you go and you become vegetarian. I know somebody who's made dramatic, almost you could label extreme changes in their dietary lifestyle. Or somebody suddenly who's just very heavy and overweight and they're having medical problems and all of a sudden they become this super bodybuilder. And you look at them because you've known them forever and 5 years, 10 years ago, and now you see them now and you say, man, that's extreme. Right? They went from this huge overweight individual who could barely walk up the stairs, who had major health problems. Now they control all their food intake. They're working out on a regular basis. They're competing in events. I have a cousin like this, right, who kind of went up and down. He's always been trying to be healthy, but he got very out of shape for a while. And now he's, I could look at him and say, wow, it's extreme. He's doing all these Spartan races. And that's the way I could look at it. But I don't look at it because all I look at is the fact that he made personal choices that led to personal changes for him. And for him, they were very positive choices. Now, most people don't do that. And so this is where I say, alhamdulillah, right? Allah, thank you for giving me this ability to look past these ridiculous things. And that's what you need to focus on, Ukti. I know it's frustrating, and I know it's just like I said, you want to pull your hair out, but that's where you need to focus, right? Also, too, I think, just for yourself, it's better not to vent online about it. And the reason I'm saying this is because the problem is when we put stuff like that online, it doesn't go away, right? And part of getting past things is to put those things that we just want to get past. You put them away, you put them in the cupboard, you put them in the door, and they're gone. But if you put them online, they stay there and they linger. And people, you might forget about it, and then a month from now, somebody will comment on that post, and all of a sudden it'll pop up, and you're like, oh man, I was past that. I don't want to think about that anymore, right? So just some personal advice of what I've learned, because I used to try to, I guess what I'm saying is there's better ways to vent about these things. Just because you want to get past this, you want to get beyond it, you don't want to get bogged down in their poor behavior. So I hope this helps. Like I said, it's just a bit of a rant and stuff, but it's just this is the way I'm going to do my blogs for a while now. Just going to talk and just try to talk about the things that are just the ramblings of my mind. But yeah, sister, just you kind of just have to turn it off. I just inshallah I'll do some more videos, and so I hope that so this is going to go on my new channel, The Rocks. There's a reason for it. Maybe later on we'll get into that, but so this is the first video for my channel, and inshallah you share, you like, let other people know, get them to subscribe. You can make sure that you get notifications. There's a little bell out there, and you can use that. I don't know where they put it anymore, because in the old days we used to point in our YouTube videos where it was, but now YouTube keeps changing things, so I'm not going to do that anymore. Somewhere on the page is a bell that you can click, or on the channel. But yeah, I'm going to start things fresh and new, and inshallah we'll keep doing this. We'll see, if I got the energy and the time, I'll just keep posting and get myself into trouble, and just, because usually you say something, then I got to make another video to apologize for that, and I'm not much for apologies, so we'll see how that works. But okay, oh yeah, one other thing. If you want to get my attention, unless you're a total fool and ignorant jerk, post whatever you want. Anything you want to ask, put it down there, and if it's a stupid question, I'll just delete it. But for the most part, I try to answer everything. Anybody that knows me, who's been following me and engaged with me over the last 13 years since I accepted Islam, I try to comment on everything. If you don't get a comment, it's because I think something that you've done is stupid, you're being a troll, and I'm ignoring you. But there are some that I may not respond, but I'll like it or whatever. If I like it, that means to some degree I agree with you, and I'm glad that you posted, and thank you. So that's just how I work. That's how I roll, Okay? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I don't know. My brain's everywhere. Okay.